If you're seeing this right now, that means that the stream is already over. So the stream isn't live. Dang, I expected somebody by now. Well, I guess off to this disassembly we go. Need a T10. And a T8. And now we have the question, will these washers fit? And if so, will they prevent the issue that I've been having? No shit. Oh, no way. Brenda Havel, how's it going? Okay, so I need... Greg, what's up? Aiden, how's it going? Alright, we're gonna put you in timeout for a bit. What do you mean, no? It already happened. I put you in timeout, it deleted all your previous messages, and then here we are. No clue what you expected to happen. But if you're going to spam words that mean nothing, then I'm going to remove your spam. So tomorrow I'll be buying a new ZT for my personal collection. It will not be for sale. An M4. James, what's up? How's it going? And is it a Bradley 2 or a Bradley? I don't know. I didn't look super far into the Bradley. Anyway, I'm getting myself a ZT 550. Yep, titanium frame lock. There's one at a pawn shop near me. I'm hoping I can maybe talk them down to 150. It's an S35 VN. We'll see if it's still there. If it is there, I'm buying it. If it isn't, then oh well. I'm just tired of buying all these Hinderer designs. It's first gen. Or no, it's a Gen 2. It's got the better pocket clip. Anyway, I'm tired of buying all these zero tolerance knives and then I don't get to keep any of them. So it'll probably be the first CT that I don't want to get rid of. Tom, how's it going? Thomas? But yeah, it's a 550 first gen in S35. I saw that and I can't afford to. I've never met the guy, but his an ad on Instagram popped up and I thought that it was a pretty decent design. The problem is I'm saving up to come out with my own design and I can't afford to be constantly buying other people's stuff. God damn it, and it's a titanium screw, so it's not even magnetic. Fucking hell. It is a decent looking model though. I wouldn't mind having one. Yeah, that's why you buy them used. I'd never buy, no, not never. I'd almost never buy a ZT new. That is a lot of money. Yeah, I'm hoping. So I need to start my business first and like start an LLC. And then I need to get that design sent out and finished. And then put it on Kickstarter. And I'm thinking I put it up for $450. And I need a minimum of 25 pieces purchased. So I'm hoping that that works out. Actually, no, I might need a minimum of 30 purchased for that to go anywhere. Which sucks because I think production costs, the early bird cost would be like 450 and production cost would be about 480. This is heavily dependent on how much because I decided I'm going with pouches. It's heavily dependent on how much the pouches cost. But I'm hoping they're about 20 bucks a piece or less. Ground Fog, what's up? This thing sold quick. I had it for a day and it's already purchased. God, everybody went quiet. Well, in my opinion, Maximate seems to like that 500 grit lapping film. Finished quite nicely on that thing. Yeah, I just really don't want to trade a knife for a sharpening stone at the moment. And I don't know when I'm going to use something between like 5K and up. So with my design, it's going to be expensive because it's made in America. It's not made in China, so I don't get that nice low cost of making them, which is why they're going to cost so much. And an early bird price of around 450 means that Kickstarter takes their 10% and I'm left with 405, and with 405 per knife I need to pay to have them made and then pay for all the documentation and the pouches and everything that are also going to be made in the US. So that's fun. Prototyping will be out of my pocket, and if done properly, hopefully, I only need 2 made, and they'll be about 2,000 apiece out of my pocket. A lot of money involved. Yeah, I don't have sketches, but I have a picture of a 3D model that I did. I need to do some sketches of it. I need to get one printed and make sure everything fits properly. I think it's a Bradley 2 that I'm after. The problem is, like, the more I look into them, the less interested I am. As much as I'd love to have something in M4, I'm always changing my mind on stuff. How much does transparent charge for regrinds on blades? I want, if I get that 550, I want that blade reground. No, I buy Chinese made knives all the time. I just don't want, like, this one was made in China. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just don't want my first design to be made in China. I want it designed here in Idaho. I want everything that's being sent out when you purchase one to be made in Idaho. Let me find some pictures. He's in California. I didn't know that. Wow, that's a shitty picture. I hope it shows up decent. No, that still looks like shit. But that's what I'm working with at the moment. I do want to do a few more iterations of it because there's something about that blade shape that I don't like. I can't figure out what it is yet. It's going to end up about the same as a Sabenza. I'm just hoping to be a little bit less expensive than a Sabenza. And apparently I don't have any pictures of it closed, which is dumb. Because I took those pictures, I just didn't upload them. But all of the money that's earned through selling all these knives, not all of them are for sale, but through selling knives, is going towards that goal. And if I can get enough money from selling knives, I don't need to do Kickstarter. I need to get a tax professional involved. Just a whole bunch of the not fun stuff behind the scenes that nobody thinks about. I do need to come up with a logo. I have a name. Aiden, thanks for the name idea. Yeah, considering my minimum order is going to be 100. So Aiden knows it, but I don't want to bring it up because I don't have a copyright claim on the name. I don't have it claimed. I don't have the business made yet. There's a lot of shit that I need to do before I come out with the name. Okay, then Aiden forgets it. That's fine. It's probably better off that way that nobody else knows. A lot or a lot smaller of a chance that anybody steals the name. But yeah, I want them made in Idaho, designed in Idaho. The pouches that'll be sent out with them will be made in Idaho, if possible. I need to go look at Calculated Survival's design on that thing. Well, I gotta figure out how much an accountant's gonna cost. Unless I can go through one of my local banks that I have an account with. That might work. Anyway, this is up for sale if anybody's interested. The plan is that it's going to be a while. So my plan is to have the business formed legally and one design in the works and hopefully being produced by next year, which gives me 300 some odd days. What, 360 days, 359 days to work on that. We have sold 6 knives this year. That's 1 knife every day. And at this rate, if it stays going that well, then I should be able to afford it without Kickstarter. I said in production, not finished with production, just in the works. I know it's ambitious. We'll see. This also means that I can't be constantly buying knives for my personal collection. Almost all my money has to go towards this. Well, here's the other side of things. I would love to sell them personally, but I don't want to be sued if somebody gets hurt. If somebody gets hurt and they decide they want somebody to sue, I'd rather them sue a business than sue me. You don't know what I'm doing every night. No. I most definitely don't. This is paying for the prototypes, the 2 prototypes that will be made if everything goes to plan and there only needs to be 2. That's my life savings right there. That is everything that I have going into prototyping. Hoping it works out. I have no fallback after that. I think it would cost more in materials to make a prototype by hand than it would to have them do it. This is where 3D printing comes in. Is I'm going to be 3D printing things as many times as possible to get things to fit properly and as close to perfect as possible. Hayden, my God. I'd love to innovate, you know? Coming up with some new shit because I'm not going to say that the knife world is stagnating at the moment. Yeah, I've already talked to the company about it too. The thing is, they said that after payment, it could be up to a year before they start production. As little as 6 months, as long as a year. Because they have other projects that they're working on too. If you're not creative enough, well, no, that's a mean way of saying it. Embedded ball bearings on scales. No, I did not see that. But then they're not replaceable. And I'm not doing ball bearings anyway, but they're not replaceable if you do that. I need to clean this. Keep playing with it, but cut food with it earlier and then I forgot to clean it off. So what was he saying about integrated ball bearings and scales? Like you don't need liners or... Oh. Feel bad for the person that lost this to TSA. Thing was brand new. It just didn't come with a box. Benchmade and their stupid grinding. God, the amount of money I'm about to spend on my personal collection is insane for how much I'm making at the moment. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm selling knives from my personal collection to afford to buy this other knife. This thing's just too small for me. I actually had this one bite me too. I closed it like that, like this, and the tip touched my palm right there and got me right there. Now this one I need to get rid of. Now whether I get rid of it on one of my streams or on Blade Binge or eBay, I don't care. But I can't be holding on to things for an extended period of time anymore. Oh yeah, and then I gotta start a website too. Ugh. And then in-house shipping. Ugh. Ooh. Yep. I'd assume that that's a common thing. Because the bug out doesn't do that. So you would expect you have a little bit more space. And you just don't. So all of a sudden you'll flick it open and then you'll come and close it and it just, whoop, now you got a hole. Congratulations. So I need to stick this one on Blade Binge. I need to just remember to do it. So tonight I'll be sticking that one on Blade Binge, that one on Blade Binge. Yeah, I saw that they were trying to come out with that. Next week, if the guy that's on the I need to clean this thing better, so I think we'll do that tonight. If the guy in the Facebook group doesn't respond within the week, I have a guy that collects this model and I'll sell it to him. He's the one that bought this one too, which is why I still have it. I asked him if he wanted to wait for to ship this to see if this one sells, and if it doesn't sell, then I sell it to him, and he pays less in shipping. Or if he wanted it now, and he said that he doesn't need to rush things, and I'm like, that's a great plan. So I might need to clean this thing in the sink, which I'm not looking forward to. You guys hear that? What if I grab a T9 and a T7? A T10. Oh, so I put the T8 and the T10 in the opposite spots. I don't think I've ever done that before. Feel bad for this model here. I don't think it gets the respect that it should. And the reason why I think it should get a little more respect is because it's an American-made knife, made at a budget. Similar to the Buck Bantam, where it's like a $30 knife that's made in Idaho. All right, I'm gonna go clean this in the sink after I take it apart a little bit further. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow you guys will get to see my new ZT. It's not in the best of condition, but I'm not super worried about that. Okay, these pieces here are coming with me, along with okay. I'm gonna go clean that stuff up real quick. Yes, I cleaned it last night. And it had some sort of sand left in the action that I was unable to get out from regular cleaning. So I just brought it over to the sink because I think that selling a product that feels like it still has sand in it isn't a good thing. If it's still like that after I just washed it, then there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a parts cleaner. I can't sit there and try and vibrate this thing in water. But I have a feeling it was this. I don't think it had anything to do with this side, because there's nothing on that side that was touching the blade, but it's worth cleaning as much as possible just to make sure. I use one of two things. Either the sharpening spray that I use, which works great for this kind of stuff, or I do isopropyl alcohol because it sanitizes stuff. Yep. I use 70% isopropyl alcohol because it's cheap, and there's no real reason to get the 91%. There we go. Now we just have the blade to clean. Usually, again, I don't go this far, but usually my normal cleaning methods work better, and they just didn't work out here. Okay. Okay, I think that's going to be it. I can't think of anything else that should need cleaned. Time for reassembly. Yep, camera's sitting in front of me, so it's really annoying. It's about 8 inches away from my face, taking up most of my viewing angle, which means I'm sitting here looking off to this side, looking like this, or over here looking like that. Very, very annoying, but it gives you guys about the same view as I have. Just unimpeded. So yeah, you guys get a better view than I do. There we go. Well, it doesn't sound gritty anymore, so that's good. This is a dining room table. And I would like to have a desk up in my bedroom that is covered in stuff right now that I would like to uncover of all the stuff and then record there, because you guys will get better lighting during the day, but you guys will get horrible lighting at night, like right now, where it is black outside and the window right in front of it is just, yeah, you'll get no lighting. Yes, I know I'm forgetting the spring. I'm doing that on purpose this time. No, I just tell people that I'm live streaming, and then everybody's quiet for me. And everybody else is in other rooms as well, so that is quite helpful. Yeah, I took the spring out to see if it sounds like shit or not. And it sounds like it should. Oof. You can thumb flick it. But yeah, it doesn't sound terrible anymore. Small detent. Almost none. You can still flick it though. Alright, I'm happy with that result. So now we'll see, does it sound like trash when we put the spring in? Because if not, then I'm willing to stick grease in there and then I'll be happy. But like I said, we don't sell, or try not to sell, knives that sound terrible. It doesn't give people confidence in what they buy. And when people buy products from me, I want them confident that the product that they bought is solid. Yeah, I'll be doing that once I test. Because if it sounds like crap before I test it, and I put grease in there anyway, then I have to clean all the grease out again. And I hate doing that. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'm happy with those results. Well, it doesn't make any funny noises anymore, so I'm now happy to sell it the way that it is. That depends. A lot of the fixed blades around here suck. There aren't a whole lot of good fixed blades being sold. It's a bunch of Chinese crap that just isn't worth it. But every once in a while there's some good stuff. Is there something you're looking for that I can help you with, or If you're looking to sell a knife, I'd probably go to Blade Binge and put it up on there. I get that. Yeah, I'd recommend you post it though, because it's going to sound terrible when I say it this way, but I'm going to lowball the hell out of you if I'm going to buy it. If it's something I'm even interested in. I'd probably give you a little bit more than what a pawn shop would give you. Let me look into that. I don't usually buy stuff from other people. I have my go-to sources, but Spartan makes some solid stuff, so I'd still recommend that you stick it up on Blade Binge or something. You'll make more off that than you will off of me. Yeah, it's like eBay, but specifically for knives. I don't want you getting screwed out of money just so that I can make some. I'd much prefer that you get top dollar or close to it. And I'm not going to provide top dollar for what you're selling. That's just me being honest. I'm not going to. Much better. Well, that spider coney is sharpened, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. People seem to like watching me sharpen stuff. Maybe we'll give my Chavez a little bit of a touch-up. All right, you have a good one. We'll see you later. It's a mixture of Dawn dish soap, isopropyl alcohol, mineral oil, and water. I can tell you the mixture if you're interested. The recipe that I use anyway. Welcome back. How's it going? Doing fine. Just sharpening a few knives. Got my Chavez out. Oh, you want to write it down this time, or? Okay, tell me when you're ready then. I've also figured out that if you make it in a water bottle, it does not help. It makes it worse. Making it in these small little bottles works really well, but large amounts doesn't work great. It doesn't mix right. It is 15 drops of mineral oil, 80 drops of 70% isopropyl alcohol, which is the same as a splash, 2 drops of Dawn dish soap, and 2 ounces of water. Yep. Do I see through the camera screen? That's not what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, I added that a while ago. It works better. Not a whole lot better, but it helps with lubrication. Oh, that'll be interesting. Tell me how that goes. I think people typically just use water, right? When they're doing stones. So the reason why it doesn't mix well when it's in a water bottle size amount is because when you shake it, it makes a lot of bubbles. I'm sure it would work fine if my water bottle didn't have a hole in the cap. But you have to shake it well if you're gonna do large batches like that. Hmm. Well, tell me how it works out because I'm curious. I'd love to know that it has more than just one use. Oh, two uses. It's great for getting it's great for getting tape residue off. The diamond powder stuff that I use has 5 micron diamonds in it. Works really well. I don't use it with these though. I use it on the strops. My either last step or my second to last step works really well. For those of you who don't have a strop set up with diamond emulsion yet, it takes you from one level to the next level of sharpening, and it's just insane how much of a difference there is. Oh yeah, no, I get it. I think my next step after that, I think I'm gonna skip 5K on the stones because I have a 3K, and I'm probably gonna skip to either 8 or 16. There's one. My local knife shop has um, one stone that's a 30K. I tried a 60K and it left an insane edge, but you can only use it once. Not worth the amount that it costs for the performance that you get out of it. I don't make my own stuff. I don't know what liquid the stuff that I have is suspended in, so and I'm not willing to buy in bulk to make it cheap enough. I'd much rather just buy the one bottle that I might use once a year or something. It'll probably take me a full year to go through that bottle that I do have. There you are. This stuff. Oh, the dye is sitting at the bottom too. And the diamonds are sitting at the very bottom. But yeah, for me to go through one of these is going to take a long time. No, it's this stuff. You can get it on Blade Bench for like 23 bucks with shipping included. I don't know how much there is in it though. It's like maybe an ounce. Maybe, I don't know. This is 2 ounces, so I don't know what this is. But the stuff that she makes is dyed. I'm sure if you talked to her and had a custom batch made, you could have it made without the dye. Because you probably wouldn't want the dye on there. All that does is help you differentiate between which strop you're using. So this one in person is blue, and that one's black. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff, but I know how it works. I don't know how it's made. They don't make a how it's made episode on how that stuff's made, so Charlie, what's up? How's it going? That skull clip. Rumor has it Chavez might be coming out with a limited production of Redencions this year. I can't guarantee it though. Bro, what? Glad we got this thing cleaned up. Charlie, hi, how's it going? Damn, this thing's big to be sitting there. No, I don't offer that as a service at the moment. I should, I just don't. Use kitchen roll. Speaking of kitchen roll, or at least kitchen, I need to finish those chef knives for my buddy. Well, I gotta go find those. I'll be back in a couple minutes. While I'm gone, can somebody do me a massive favor and look up if this thing is DLC coded, PVD coded, or paint coded? Pretty please. It's a Redention X lock. Oh. Duh. Well, I found them. I don't know what kitchen paper is. I mean, like parchment paper or something? I'm pretty sure all of these will do that quite easily. Dang, the moment I leave and everybody leaves. Give me a minute, guys. I got something I'm doing. And yes, we'll be using a resin bonded diamond stone for profiling. But first, I have one more knife that I want to sharpen. It's a Kershaw 2022 promo knife. It was a promotional piece sold by Walmart as, to see if people were interested in the design before they came out with it. And later on, they ended up coming out with it. So it's a cool piece. But I never wanted to sharpen it until I knew how to sharpen well. And I believe I sharpened it back, or bought it back in 2023. So I've had this piece for a while. I mean, I could move over to the resin bonded stone. It just takes material off too fast. Because instead of using a 400 grit to profile things slowly, it's a 120 grit and it just rips everything off quickly. Yep, already done on one side. Finished on that side. Because we're reprofiling. You reprofile at low grit. Well, we're done on that already. Back to the 400. I wouldn't consider myself a professional yet. I don't have 1,000 hours in practice yet. I'm almost a quarter of the way there, though. Almost a year. In hours, about 300 or 240 hours. Yes. Yep, about the same here. But yeah, I have about a year of practice. This is a Sharpo diamond lapping film. And welcome back, I Can't Fall Asleep. Neither can I, it's too early. And it was a 1500 grit. You know what's wild to me is it hasn't even been a full month since I dropped my Sebenza off. But it feels like it's been over a month. I am 6 feet tall. Yes, Top Knives is in eastern Idaho. Yeah. Yep. I drove for about 20 minutes and then walked in and dropped it off. Matthew's a very nice guy in there. If you ever drop by, I highly recommend talking to him. Really good attitude. I appreciate him. Chances are, if you call in, you'll either get a hold of him or I don't remember what her name is. Damn it. I think it starts with a P, but I don't remember. Cody, what's up? Can you send me a message tomorrow and remind me to fill something out for the Benchmade that needs sent out? It's about the size of a large house. And it's pretty obvious what building you're walking into. They got the Chris Reeve logo plastered all over the side of it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now I gotta tell the guy at the pawn shop when I go to sell it tomorrow that it's extremely sharp. Do not test that. And then I know the first thing he's gonna do is go and test it on something, and then bam, it's gonna cut him, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah, stop crying like a little bitch. I told you it was sharp. You went and tested me anyway. When I say it's sharp, I mean it's sharp. I do not I do not offer a sharpening service at the moment. I should, but like my services aren't cheap. No, my thing. Okay, so I do offer a sharpening service, but I don't offer it for people who ship their knives to me. I do a local sharpening service, and I charge $20 a knife. Helps me pay for the sharpening tools. They're not cheap. Don't get me wrong, you're paying for my experience as well as the fact that you don't have the tools that I have, but it's mostly the experience. And one of the things that I do that I don't think I've seen anybody else do is you bring your knife to me and I sharpen it live on stream that night. I don't think I've seen anybody else do that. I am from Idaho. Speaking of sharpening service, I need to renew my listing on Facebook. I guess I'll relist it when I get off stream. Fuck this. Okay. And off we go. Freaking shirt always rides up while I'm sharpening. So I'm sitting there all comfortable and warm, and then all of a sudden my shirt goes up, and then cold chair against your back, and it doesn't feel good. Imagine making fun of somebody else for being late. when you're late every single time. Yes, I know that you were saying that you were late. Ooh. Let's not send the camera flying. Why do I have a Chris Reeve box? Oh, okay. Duh. I'm sitting there like, why is there a Chris Reeve box on the table? Fucking moron. I think it's super cheap, but I can't tell because it doesn't have a brand on it. Could be. I don't do a whole lot of dating. Too expensive. Rather spend money on my hobby than somebody else. Yeah. You're telling me. I'm 23, about to turn 24, single, and have no kids, and I'd rather keep it that way. I enjoy the simple life. And with my luck, the person I find is going to be a monster after marriage, so I'm just gonna stay single. No kids. No insane amounts of debt. Other than maybe a house. The simple life. Or if I'm lucky and the knife business takes off, this is why I don't like sharpening large knives. Smack everything with it. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I have horrible luck when it comes to women, so. $120. If you're about to ask if I don't have a burr yet, yes, I do. I just don't have a burr across the whole edge. Because there's a spot right here that has a recurve when I don't think it's supposed to. Because whoever sharpened it first with a belt did not do a fantastic job. Whoops. Something you need to be careful about with this stuff that I realized way too late. Because it has isopropyl alcohol in it. No, I'm not going to bring up that it's flammable. That much is probably obvious. Although I haven't tested that. Oh, this is dry. Woohoo. If you don't wipe it up fast, it eats through wood finishes. Which is why there's a whole section of this table right here where just the wood finish is gone because it ate it. Yeah, what he said and stuff. Well, the more questions you ask that are on topic, the more it helps the channel, so no complaints here. Palmer, how's it going? Ooh, a fancy dinner party. Us poor people don't do that very often. Fair enough. I'm not going to say you're in the wrong for doing that. I'm hoping one of these days I can afford to do the stuff that you do. Although I won't be doing the stuff you do, I just hope I can afford to do so. Don't get me wrong, I like boats and stuff, but what am I gonna do on a boat? You're not even 25? Holy shit. You want to invest in a startup? That's half serious, by the way. Yeah, I thought you were in your 40s. I guess we never really talked about how old you are. Yeah, a teenager with more money than he knows what to do with. Basically, the stuff that you do with watches, I do with knives, just on a lower scale at the moment. How do you keep track of that shit for taxes? Okay. So that was me half joking, by the way. Would you like to invest in a startup? If not, I'll work my way to doing what I want to do anyway, but yeah, kind of thought so. Palmer's younger than I am. You don't get early or get in early with Google if you're younger than I am. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Palmer. Well, here's the question, and at the moment, a lot of people aren't buying silver, or a lot of companies aren't buying silver. I invested in silver. I think I've got 6 ounces, and most of that 7 ounces, and most of that was purchased when it was at 35, because I knew it was going to go up, but I didn't know that it was going to go up the way it has. If I sold it all now, um, I'd be a decent chunk further towards my goal, which would be great and all, but then I don't have anything to fall back on other than my 2 grams of gold. Well, you're doing a lot better than I am. That sounds about right, Palmer. This is going to sound brutal, but I don't think that right now is the time to buy at all. If you have any, I might get rid of it, but I'm holding on to mine for at least a little while longer. The thing is, it was supposed to be savings. It performed way better than I expected it to, but I don't expect things to keep going up much further than they already are. God, silver doubled in like a couple months. And then now it's at 80. The pawn shop that I bought my silver at won't even buy sterling anymore. Or no, they will. They'll pay you 40% of spot for sterling. Well, I'm waiting for the AI bubble to pop, and then all that shit goes to shit. Um, The bevels are looking better. I'm done for tonight with the sharpening. So now we have the question, what are all the things that are commonly used when it comes to AI? Actually, the pawn shop I go to pays 90% of spot. As long as you're not an asshat to them. Sometimes they'll get you for being an asshole, but if you're not an asshole, then they pay 90% of spot on pure silver. All the other pawn shops in my area pay 80, or they claim that they pay 80. I went to one of the pawn ones in my area back when. No, I understand that. Most of my pawn shops, my local pawn shops stuff is purchases, not failed pawns. No, I'm just not a dick. This thing is packed with steel right now. I'm gonna go rinse it off real quick. Aiden, did you hear that I'm getting a ZT tomorrow? If it's still there. Let that sit there for a bit. Oh, missing comments. Um, we'll see you later, Greg. You have a good one. I'm getting a ZT 550 if it's there tomorrow. What kind of advice are you looking for? Well, I appreciate you dropping by then, Cody. Just remember to send me a message tomorrow and we'll get that Benchmade shipped out to have the issue fixed. So now I have a question for you, Cody. Who do you think, if it needs repairs, Who do you think should pay for that? How to hold an angle properly. Have you watched any videos on this before I answer your question? I don't know. I've never sent anything into Benchmade before. I wouldn't say practice is the best advice. I'd watch videos before I start practicing. I'd go over to Outdoors 55 YouTube channel and watch a bunch of his videos before I start practicing. That way you're not wasting time doing it wrong. Fair. Well, hopefully it doesn't cost anything. Chances are, if it needs a new blade, I will be fair enough. If it needs a new blade, I'm probably not making any money on that thing. I would appreciate that very much. We'll see. We'll see if it needs anything. No, I'm pretty sure since they still make it, they'll just replace every part that's required to make it work. So then there's another question before anything else happens. If they decide that it needs a new blade, do you want a half serrated blade or do you want a plain edge? I'm just hoping they aren't like a dealership or not a dealership, like a you prefer serrated. Damn, you're weird. Has anybody bullied you for that yet? I hope so. The only good serrations are fully serrated knives from Spyderco. Oh, no, that's not true. Chris Reeve serrations are top notch. Those things are insane. Bet you didn't know they make half serrated Sebenzas. That's about the only serrations that I would accept on a personal knife is the serrated Sebenza. That is it. I wouldn't take any other knife with serrations because I don't like them. But those things are just so easy to sharpen. No, I hate VEF serrations. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to sharpen that. Well, I don't have any rods, right? So I don't have the stuff that you need to sharpen them. You almost need a file. I hope I can find a picture of a Sebenza with VEF serrations. That'd be hilarious. Google. Nope. I don't think that there's a single Sebenza out there with VEF serrations. I'd consider that a ruined knife, if I'm honest. There's no fixing it other than getting a new blade. Let's see what knives Nordic Knives has up for sale. Sort by low to high. Y'all sell used knives, and you're sitting here with your used knives at new knife prices. Yeah, I I can understand them not needing, whoa, touch-ups very often, but I don't know what I'd use them for. I don't have a use for large serrations. I just don't. Buck 128. I just hope this model does not show up when they look it up at the pawn shop. Because I bought this and this in the same box for like 20 bucks. And I'm hoping that they give me more than 20 bucks. I don't see it anywhere. That's good news. Maybe they'll give me more than I paid for them. How much money do I have in my wallet? I guess I don't need as much money as I thought. Well, I'm gonna see. There's a HK Vex. 10,750. And then I look up filter sold items. Ooh, there's one that sold for $60. And one that sold for 55. We have precedent. Which means I might get around 35 for it. Well, everybody went really quiet and just about everybody left. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. That was a decent stream. Need to finish those knives for my buddy, though. I'm here. Yeah, we got 4 people in here, though. And it seems like everybody's bored. So yeah. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one. And good luck with that stuff, Cody.